Hello and welcome to Take Heart Journey. It is Love Month around here, and so I am taking a phrase from Hosea. It's in chapter 14, verse 4, and the phrase is love freely. And of course, it's in relation to God loving us freely. And I thought that this would be the perfect theme for us. Not only because of the month and Valentine's Day coming up, but also because of what we are doing here at Take Heart. I think that we have been exhibiting the idea of loving freely with each other from the start. So I just want to use today to remind you what you've done by going through Take Heart or going through Birches, by being part of a cohort and making art with another person. The last few years have been an incredibly divisive time. And during the last few years, you sought out connection. You found a community of people, and you are part of the amazing culture that has been created here. It's a culture where, if you think about the 5-week course, or if you think about Birches or what we do at Journey, each person gets a turn to speak. Each person gets a turn to share. And so on the one hand, you've shared. You have been authentic. You have gone all in when it comes to the art that you made going through Take Heart. Think of your very first piece of art, your very first journal page. That took vulnerability, it took authenticity, and you brought that. But then on the other side, you've also listened to others as they've brought their real selves to Take Heart. There's really nothing fake happening here. And you have accepted people the way they are, even if they are different than you. And so you have participated in a really healthy, really non-competitive and beautiful community here at Take Heart. And this cannot come from one personality or one person in a cohort. It is all of you. And so thank you so much for what you have brought to your cohort, whether it be in one course or in the continuation of Take Heart Journey. And I want to remind you that you can take the things that you have learned about relationships in Take Heart, and you can carry those things out into the real world. I know that it's been like that for me, that my friendships have improved because I know now what it looks like to have healthy friends who root for me, who know me, you all know me so well, and who I can share my real self with. And that translates now into my friendships. That's what I'm looking for, and that's also what I want to be able to offer to the other person. And I also always am hoping that any healthiness, connection, love that you experience through Take Heart in your art or in your cohort, that you can begin to carry that over to your view of how God loves you. Love freely. Those are His words for us as we come to Him. And so I am always praying that that connection is there too, that we can begin to see God as someone who accepts us the way we are, who cares about our quirks, who loves our creativity and wants relationship with us. So let me tell you about our art today, and let's get started. All right, I am creating again in my little art journal here, which it's very satisfying to flip through this now that there's 3 pages. Here's what I made today. So you're going to need collage paper for the background, so you can use coloring pages, book pages, collage paper you've made. You can print out your own collage paper. You're also going to need some sort of inspirational picture that signifies community to you. And so you can find that, like me, in a brochure that you got in the mail. You could get it in a magazine, or you could print something out that is representative of community, of friends. And I love this picture. To me, this is us. It's not just two people, so it's not a clique. I like that there's 3 girls here. I can picture there being even more. There's room for everyone. They are each safe and warm and cozy in their own blanket, but you can also see just this sense of love and sharing that's there. So thanks to this blanket company for the inspiration for the page today. So the first layer will be collage. So you need your matte medium, matte gel collage papers. You need that image that will signify community or friendship, that idea of friendship, love, and then some paint. And I only use purple, yellow, blue, and white and black today, and mix up different values of those colors, which I will show you. And then at the very end, I do use a charcoal pencil to shade, and I also use a white gel pen. So that's everything I use today. So go grab your stuff. And I loved this page. This is like old school Take Heart. Let's do some collaging, some art journaling, and think about how awesome we are and how awesome this community is, and celebrate the love that we can have with our friends. See you on Zoom. All right, it's time to pull out your journal, your collage paper, and let's get started. I'm going to show you all of the collage paper that I'm using today. And the first piece is all these words, and I got that from Sean Petit, but if you think about it, it's something you could easily do in any word processing program. Type up a bunch of words that are meaningful to you, print it out, and you could have that available for any of your collages. I have a few pieces of collage paper out of books. I have this catalog I got in the mail with the image here that is what inspired me. And of course, I also have some of that sequin ribbon, which has really also been inspiring me lately. So I'm going to cut this part out because I already in my mind can picture where this is going to go. So I want to cut it out, lay it down right there, and then play around with what on earth I'm going to do with the rest of my collage paper. Now, what I like to say is that I use collage paper on some of my pages almost like I'm sketching. So instead of drawing in the lines and the basic shape of what I'm going to do, I use my collage paper to do that. And so what that does, it's going to add texture to my page. It's going to add a lot of interest. So even though a lot of this gets covered with paint, this is laying down the basic composition for me of what I'm going to do on this page. So I realize I love that yellow stripe, and right where it hits those girls, how they're standing, and I'm going to use the words in the sky, and I'm like, where is this sequin ribbon going to go? Maybe it will be its own mountain. You get to watch me here just play around with all the scraps I have and change it a million times, so be prepared, but that's how it works, and that's how I figure it out. And then once I do, I'm going to just start gluing it all down. Another thing that I love about making the first layer collage paper, blocking it all out with collage paper, is It really inspires me. This is sometimes way more approachable than just coming at a blank page with paint on your brush. For me, this gets me started. I am going to use all the collage paper that I just put down to inspire me for what comes next. I'm going to respond to it. I think my color palette comes from these collage papers and the shapes of these mountains in the background. And so for me, this is where a lot of my inspiration comes from. If I just cover the page with some paper, all of a sudden the ideas come and I can start picturing something where before there was absolutely nothing. So even if you don't know exactly where your page is going, use your collage paper to inspire you. Pull out some colors or some pages that you like, glue them down, and then I guarantee as you are gluing it all down, you will start getting ideas about what should come next. I am using an old credit card to scrape off some of the extra glue. I am currently out of matte gel and someone gave me some of their leftover Mod Podge, and I have to tell you, it's not the same. I have been trying to use it and I don't love it as much, but then I know some of you love it, so I guess it's just a personal preference of what each person likes the most. You should let me know what your favorite collage adhesive has been and we can compare notes. So I'm about to paint over. I dried this whole page. I actually did this time, and I am going to put painter's tape on top of that sequin ribbon because I really don't want to get paint on it because there's no way to get it off once I do. And I know that from this image that I've glued down from the front of this catalog, there's some deep purples in there that I really love, and so I knew that I needed some contrast on this page, so I'm going to make this mountain purple. So on my palette to my right, I have one color of purple, and I have white, and I have black, and I've mixed up a dark purple and a light purple. And I really want this mountain to be, I don't know what the word is, playful. I want you to be able to see the brush strokes. So you're going to watch me come in, cover it with purple, but then try to put in some individual brush strokes that are a little bit darker or a little bit lighter purple. And then I'm also going to use the bottom of my paintbrush to add some squiggles because why not? And I love, this fits for me our theme of the idea of loving freely and how we have been able to do that with our friendships in Take Heart. It is time for the sky, so I'm painting in some blue, and I really like, even in the final product, you can see some of those script letters and collage papers behind in the sky, which is awesome. And then here I'm adding in, it's hard to see, but just a little bit of white, a much lighter white or light blue, and at the very end it looks just like it's a cloudy day. Now we're gonna cover up their 15% coupon here, and I have cut out the word freedom because to me that is what this page symbolizes. And I really wanted to make this image here look less like it's just cut straight out of a catalog, and so I'm gonna add a little bit of my own marks here at the beginning, but by the end I have personalized all of these blankets, which is so cool. You can watch me literally gain freedom as I am making this page. I think of the verse about how perfect love casts out all fear, and I think Take Heart has done that for me and for a lot of us, that when you're engaging with someone who's different over art, it feels so easy, and there really isn't fear that's there. It's a place where we can all trust each other, and our motives, we're all here for connection. We're all here to make some art, and we can figure out how to love each other freely. And so there really isn't fear here at Take Heart, and I absolutely love that. And that idea that perfect love casts out fear, I think, has carried over into the rest of my life, where I have a lot less fear than I used to about, I think, connecting with God and with other people. And so I hope that while you make this page, you celebrate your freedom, that you can think of all the ways that Take Heart has helped you to love freely in your friendships, whether it be in the course that you took, being able to love and listen to people who are different, or whether it be outside of Take Heart. I hope maybe this has changed some of your friendships outside of Take Heart journey too. So after I have let this whole page dry, I knew something was missing. I kept trying to shade around this picture here, and I finally knew, you know what, I want a whole black stripe, and I pictured writing words in there, and so I knew I was going to do that at the end. They were going to be surrounded with some sort of message, and I add a little more yellow into this other mountain, and there was a day or two in between the first layers and this day where I add yellow to the mountain and I add the black stripe around the collage paper. And so that's what you have to do sometimes. You have to take a step back and kind of figure out what comes next. Crazy to me that I almost didn't come back and add, because I'm about to add all my favorite parts. I use this little flat brush that I have to start adding more flowers onto all of these blankets, and the flowers are literally just little dabs of paint. Now on my palette I have purple from the mountains, the yellow from the mountains, and I have white and I have black. And I use all of those colors to make every flower, and the one that I just made, that color is made from purple, white, and a little bit of yellow. It starts making kind of a peach color, and so I'm playing around, and since I have the same couple of colors on my palette, it's all going to go together, it's all going to match, and I am just going to add these little marks that you see here are absolutely nothing up close, but when you zoom out, they make these beautiful florals. And this truly is a celebration of freedom for me as I make my art and paint over the perfection of this catalog page and really make it my own with my own painterly brush strokes and the colors that I like, that I want to add. And I think it's the perfect thing to add to a page where we're thinking about the idea of loving freely. And now it's time to write, and this is just what came to me. I can love you freely. You can just be yourself. and I can just be me. Let's continue to make Take Heart journey and Take Heart be a place where we can experience God's love through community, where we aren't a clique, where the love that we have for each other can overflow into all areas of our life.